Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Monday, number 20 day for the month of June 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Pass King, our own countryman. Wanna welcome for our daily podcast, a program where they bring meaningful information for help educate our people. A fact-based analysis meant to guide us as we walk this journey to freedom, the journey for the independence of the former British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. Fellow good people of Ambazonia, the Ambazonians today should count themselves lucky to have a leader like Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba. I spent the past 117 minutes for listening for the speech presented by Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba addressing our nations on very key issues, presenting to our people the policies of what we call independent means independence, ruling out a comprehensive code of conduct for all Ambazonian forces, followed by a deep presentation with Ambazonian women's on Ambazonian Charter for women's and children's rights. These are things that we have seen in very advanced countries, very advanced democracies. We for Africa wouldn't live in countries where such human rights laws, such human rights campaign are sponsored by foreign organizations, the United Nations, where they will bring in huge sum of money, organize seminars, only for those seminars to be handed over to people who run NGO racketeers, human rights racketeers like the Abobalas, to set up seminars, not really to train people who actually have any impact on the ground, but as a means to reward them. This reminds me of my contact with the philanthropist and billionaire, one of Africa's most richest person, Mo Ibrahim. If you now remember, you find now the person will be interview Mr. Paul Biya for France. When Paul Biya be talks, they don't try to assimilate Ambazonians, work. The Mo Ibrahim Foundation, they be contact me through Eric Chingier. They be contact me from France in their attempt for bribe me as an Ambazonian activist for me for stop my contribution for this movement for our people their freedom. They be offer me say make a transform my platform for Pan-Africanism into an NGO. They go begin send me my attend conferences around the world, and every year, every month, I go to get some money from my account, and every year they go make sure say I go to get at least $60,000 donation for inside my NGO their account. I just imagine all the African NGO the way they involved with international community. Now which type of setup where they don't get them for them for they do their job? We see they promote Abobala, it work from here and there, up and down, over other NGO the way them be based for inside Ground Zero where they do work. We see how they don't abandon the IAS Foundation, a true, genuine, good Samaritan for inside Ambazonia where they do not got the work where you know they need thank you. Their support don't always come only for grassroots citizens them from all walks of life, from all background, some La Republic, some Ambazonians, because they do not true work for God. We'll never ever see them attend any international conference or receive any support from the United Nations. My country people them, I want for to tell and I say today we need to be very appreciative, especially how they come from Father's Day. The one I don't listen this Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba speech, I not gonna lie when I say we'll be blessed with the witness history, with the witness development, and I just pray God make our people them rally themselves for absorb these things and put them into practice. Yes, now the communication department and the World Council and the leadership on the ground, now their duty for enforce this thing and embrace them very well, and also for digest them for our public, because laws without a publication, without putting it into archives, will mean nothing. Wouldn't be for a country where they make law today, they go gather, make assembly today, make meeting today. Tomorrow, another people go can gather, make the same meeting. They not go even get any point of reference. We live in the best period we would see a good organization, the Ambazonian Governing Council, professional organization, be made of hard-working individuals where they need to occupy space. We don't see for Ambazonian struggle, organization upon organization, they focus their whole idea about position and how to strengthen their organization, their positions or their projects. Them they always been only for thing we go strengthen them as an organization, have less or little or nothing to do with empowering our people them on the ground for become an independent people, or even for develop policy them for help advance our liberation movement. They don't just become the opposition. People the way they copy and paste, they need to work hard for develop everything. And today I will tell now my people, I'm very proud of the Ambazonian Governing Council and the people who are working very hard in that institution. I'm very, very proud. Going through this speech today, I will be putting out the speech in Pidgin English for our people to consume it, because that is the language of our people. It's a language understood by over 90% of our people. It's a language communicated in courts in Ambazonia. It's language communicated in the hospital. This is a working language of Ambazonia, and as I always advocate for, the Pidgin English is our national language. Using a white man language as it is will never serve our people, will keep us 100 years backward from development in science and technology and even in discipline in our workspace. That was my opinion. And I also want for, in this podcast, just throw a general light for set up the subsequent release of our communication department. Also for Toxe, wouldn't recognize and take note for the interview with Silas Atefo. Silas Atefo be hailed from the great state of Mezam, one of the hills and the guardians of the entrance of Mezam, the Pining, the Akum, the Santa area. He's our son, and we are very proud of him. He has always put Ambazonia first. And he then gave a very powerful interview on the interview show on ACN. He gave a big revolution about the IG. Basically, the IG, be way to the Tinkam, and would then watch the SCBC, the tied way to the SCBC, the do one with Seseko Ayoktabi. But the big revolution we done get, and say for the whole years and we done for the SCBC, the IG have nothing to do with the SCBC. The manager will be there for the before we all know him. When a strong advocate for Ambazonia independent, he to be done resign in frustration. No time in Silas as therefore he being in SCBC does the Mr. Yerima or Atta Milan call for any meeting of the board of directors. The people who are working there are still a mystery, and we have now seen that people like Atafo Mocho, these guys who are pushing this Cameroon Alliance thing, they have taken over that station. So our people should see and understand. And this reflects also on Comrade Yerima, who is the vice president of the IGK. We have been engaging with him about the SCBC. It has been very difficult for him to come straight. I think we now understand the reason why. The IG should not just be hiding behind platforms, because that can get you into trouble. We have been attributing what the SCBC is doing to Seseko and to Yerima, but it appears they don't even have any control of it, and they're not even linked with it. So what are they linked to? What are they associated with in terms of pushing our agenda for liberation? I'll leave that hanging in the air. We now also learn from Silas. Also, these are things that we know anyway, that Fontem Niba, who is the creator of that town hall, international town hall, that has been specializing in delegitimizing our struggle, be diluting our nationalism and patriotism as we forge our harmony to effectuate our independence. Fontem Niba also was the creator of Southern Cameroon Alliance. He has also withdrawn from the public space in these two platforms and handed over to the people who are doing the real damage. We now know that Atta Milan also have left Scoop in terms of his activity there, and he is now fully in charge and also the chairman of this so-called Southern Cameroon Alliance. One wonder why they'll be injecting the name of Southern Cameroon, not Ambazonia. But we all know that Fontem Niba and the barrister Agbobala, they signed a deal that was forged by the Munas to not push for the agenda for independence. So it is not surprising that why Agbobala focused on ground zero to dilute our national struggle and to temper the resistance Fontemniba is in abroad doing the same thing with the nationalist movement. So these are the things of this podcast today in a country Sunday. Now they way all Ambazonia they sit at home for observe a civil protest and demonstration for show the world and La Republic say we damn collectively reject any union with La Republic and with the demand for outright independence. Country Sunday na a sacrosanct day where millions of our people them across our national territory they shidong for house. Some of those areas the way they don't uphold this lockdown day, this ghost town, without a single Ambazonian soldier for defend them, because the Ambazonian soldier them for they be dispersed for the most part. I want to give credit and for honor our people them for instant Tombe. Our people them for Tombe, they ran the whole resistance against Cameroon occupation and Cameroon rule without arms. Every Sunday for Tombe, all shop they close, even Ben seeking them all they pack for observe and demonstrate their will and their aspiration for independence. Tombe and many other villages across Ambazonia National Territory where they done the whole the mantle and for uplift the stick, just like how Moses be stand for front, the whole stick air on the supporting hand, middle stick is stand for up. When around uphold Ambazonian flag for una way them. For all civilian them where they uphold Ambazonian flag and independence and their aspiration for our people under threat of torture and murder from Cameroon occupation terrorist forces would want salute una and for honor una. And for tell una say una sacrifice them and una strive and resilient, it be taken note by the Ambazonian governing council. And we no go blink, we no go fail una, we go uphold our independence. We see una. Independence means independence. And all our policy, all our actions, all our engagement, both bilateral within Ambazonia and external, is geared for one purpose and one reason only: independence only. We are fully dedicated. We are fully committed. We are 100% selfless. Do not mind the scandal you will hear here and there. We are solid as rock, and we will continue to uphold the role we are playing as the vanguard of your liberation movement and independence. You can look upon the Ambazonian Governing Council as a city on a hilltop that shines the light of Ambazonian freedom. Today, we digest this speech that have been addressed to our people, and I will want every citizen to listen to this speech, digest it, embrace it, because a law is as good as how the people take it. It was meant for you. In the Defense Department as well as the Communication Department, we will do everything possible to put it in your forefront and make sure that it is being observed and implemented. Make sure it is implemented to the fullest. God bless you. Capo Daniel, signing off.